Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Um, I'm in this video, I'm just going to be explaining why you'll go out of business by not doing this one thing. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit a like and comment, and obviously subscribe for more. But thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to be going over this one thing and why this one thing is very vital, not just for brands, but for business in general. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is this one thing? Well, it's TikTok. Now, you might be thinking you're joking, right? Well, I'm not. I'm actually being pretty serious. So, one of the biggest platforms, and it's really big for, growing, not only growing brands, but, you know, not just at this moment, but for years to come. This is something that you could use as a growth lever for your brand or business or personal brand. And not just for now, but probably for the next 10, 20 years or so, unless there's like a new platform that's more innovative or whatever. It doesn't seem like that's really going to be the case anytime soon. So it seems like TikTok is the place to go, especially with how information and how content is being consumed nowadays. So, a lot of people develop a poor mindset with TikTok, especially, people from older generations. A lot of people like to say things like, the audience is too young, or there's low buying power, the users aren't amazing, the UI sucks, blah, 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 blah. That's a very short minded way of thinking, especially considering how a lot of the consumption of information is consumed, right? A lot of things are consumed through short form content nowadays. People don't really want to read a 10-page article that takes like 30 minutes to read. People want to read people want to watch a video that's less than a minute long that explains the entire thing or explains what's going on, even if it's not as nuanced as possible. Like most people just want to hear things very concisely, and that's kind of why short form content is where it's at, right? That's why TikTok is at the place where it's at. Obviously, TikTok is more than just people, more than girls shaking their peaches or, people posting funny videos or doing silly dances. It's more than that. It's actually a way for people to get information. It's a way for people to make business out of things. It's for people to sell products. It's for people to grow a brand, whether it's a personal or a actual brand. So the truth is, it's really a way for a large audience to get more information and content. If you can manage to bridge your content or information to a percentage of that audience, instant growth, and you're most likely going to benefit from that. So this idea of having that mindset needs to go away, especially with older generations and even people that are doubting themselves. But it is a new search engine for Gen Z. Google is being used less and less and less. TikTok is growing rapidly in terms of users. Now, I'm not necessarily saying TikTok is better than Google or it's going to succeed Google. It's not really probably going to happen for a while. It's not. I don't really see that happening. But what I am saying is that TikTok is a search engine for Gen Z in terms of getting information and content, and it's becoming a way for people to get content and information instead of going on Google and looking it up. Obviously people still use Google. It's still it's the largest search engine, but people are still finding new ways and other ways to consume content. And instead of looking up something on Google, people just watch a TikTok or they watch something short form, and that's how they consume the information. So this shift from long form content and articles and things of that nature to short form content or reels is something that should be considered not only by today's businesses but for people in general. So not taking of this advantage will have you get lapped, and it's no surprise that other big brands like the Washington Post or a lot of these media companies are now going on TikTok knowing that they can take advantage of this. And obviously, we can say what we want about the media. Obviously, we all have our own opinions, but the idea that they can take advantage of these things and utilize them is something that's not only genius but also something that could work in their favor. So, what happens when the younger generation gets older? Is that's something that's a question that a lot of people like to ask, especially in terms of platforms like this. So, once they gain more financial independence, which they most likely will, like even if it means they don't become entrepreneurs or whatever, it just means that they just make more money and they're able to provide for themselves, pretty much. The information they consume will always come from social media or news networks. And where will those news networks or social media or people where they consume content, where will they be based in, right? Sometimes they won't be watching TV because typically when people watch TV, they're watching Netflix, they're watching Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, right? But they always consume their content from social media, whether it's TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, right? So TikTok is a platform where today's current generation not only gets their information from, not only where they get their information and other and find products to buy, but it's also a place where they can actually develop something, whether it's a brand or new information or something of that nature. And like I mentioned earlier, it's no shock to see why some big brands have already made their own TikTok pages, including media, including large brands such as Nike and Adidas. Even Red Bull has taken advantage of this, and there's other brands out there. There's a lot of big brands out there that don't even have a TikTok page, and I can see why they don't, but at the same time, not taking advantage of something like that might cause them to get lapped. And it's these small things, and it's not taking advantage of these trends that can be very costly. So it seems to be the place where much of the culture is at, as well as you can tell from the current trends and how a lot of these things are. They're based on short form content, and it's most likely here to stay for quite some time, especially considering how it's a must use platform for brands, whether you want to build a personal brand or actually just grow your business in general. So other things to consider, it is also the fastest growing age demographic on the platform is 28 to 25 to 45, which means that the idea that the platform has no buying power is silly, and the idea that it's just a bunch of 13-year-old kids is also kind of silly as well. So the platform is also 6 years old. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube have been around for quite some time. Facebook has been around for 19 years. Instagram's been around for 13 years, and YouTube's been around for 15 years, respectively. Now, imagine what TikTok will look like in 10 years. Once the platform turns 16 years old, imagine how the platform is going to look like in terms of a branding and business perspective. I'm sure there's so many ideas of how it will look in terms of a content perspective. Lord only knows. But in terms of a branding and business perspective, how is that going to look over time? It's probably going to rival that of Facebook, to be honest, in terms of its powerful algorithms with paid ads and organic reach. And it's probably going to be elevated to a different level, considering how it's all going to be based on short form content as well. So as history has shown with social platforms, once they establish themselves, they're here to stay. And it wouldn't be a shock if that's the case with TikTok, especially considering how fast it's been able to grow. So that's something that you should definitely consider. So let's say none of this happens. Then what? Well, assuming none of this occurs, that doesn't mean you can't take advantage of this trend. Ignoring the benefits of this greatly outweigh the risk of missing out on the success of the platform. So nothing really should stop you from wanting to grow your brand or taking advantage of utilizing short form content and obtaining a larger audience. If you want to take advantage of this opportunity, do it now, because it's probably going to get harder along the way, and before you know it, it's going to be too late. Long gone are the days of 2020, 2021, where all you needed was like you could literally just like open your account and make a new video and instantly get like thousands of views, if not millions. Long gone are those days, and the more you miss out, you know, the more you ignore the benefits, it's just not going to be good, especially when you get lapped by other brands or businesses or people in general. So if you want to take advantage of this now, if you want to take advantage of short form content and TikTok and all its benefits, do it now. Like genuinely do it now. So in conclusion, the way our society consumes content is rapidly changing. TikTok and AI continue to spearhead this movement in the change of how we consume content. And those who don't want to adapt to these changes will get eaten alive by competitors. Obviously, I mean that in a metaphorical sense. Although maybe in a literal sense, who knows? Maybe they'll turn into like beasts or something, and they'll eat you alive. I don't know. Maybe they will. But your next move is very simple. Get on TikTok and start posting more content and start doing stuff to get more exposure and get more greens. And what do I mean by more greens? I mean more of this, right? More money. So pretty much that's going to be it for this video. I don't really have anything else to say. I think everything is pretty self-explanatory there. Yeah, I just wanted to go in that little spiel and kind of make my case as to why brands not only should be on TikTok, but why you should be on TikTok as well, especially if you're a brand owner or you're a content creator. Because I really don't see the point of why you wouldn't be on TikTok why you wouldn't be on TikTok if you're not, if you have a personal brand or an actual brand or a business, right? Even if you might suck at it for a bit, it takes time, right? And looking for people like me that can help you build that is something that's special as well. So, if you're watching this video and you have one of those, feel free to hit me up. But anyways, Thanks for watching this video. I don't want to keep this running for too long, so I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.